The People's National Congress reform has raised concerns over government's handling of the distribution process for the $100,000 one-off cash grant. The party criticized the People's Progressive Party administration for the lack of planning. According to the PNCR, the approach will cause unnecessary challenges for citizens accessing the funds. Party member Elson Lowe.
This is typical of a government that has thus far found a myriad of ways to tie itself in knots. It appears doubtful that all public servants will be registered, let alone receive a single dollar by the end of November, which reinforces citizens' suspicion that the government is engaging in a mad scramble with no clear structure in place to facilitate delivery. This is especially relevant given Jagdeo's recent announcement that the government intends to unleash 300,000 checks upon the banking system in the month of December alone. Guyana's banks cannot realistically handle that volume of activity, and the PPP's lack of planning will almost certainly mean several hours of waiting time in lines for each and every recipient. If the government intends to leverage the banking system to deliver cash grants by check, it needs to arrange for overtime hours and compensate banking employees accordingly. We believe that it is clear that the government needs to explore a wider range of options for persons to 1. Register, 2. Collect their checks, and 3. To cash their checks. The PPP clearly did not plan this grant in advance.
In response, Vice President Barry Jagdeo announced that approximately 300,000 Guyanese are expected to receive the cash grants by the end of the year.
So we anticipate that from what they told us, that they can do about 10,000 people per day, and therefore it would be about 300,000, including the ones they've done already. And therefore, they would cut the checks for those 300,000 persons. That's what it's anticipated will happen. And then we cannot appropriate the balance of the money until you have a budget. So the budget will come out in about February of next year. Well, hopefully it will pass by February of next year, not come out. And then we can seek to appropriate the balance of the money. We anticipate it will be about another 30 billion because we think about 600,000 adults you have in the country, or just over that. You have a bit over that. But we will appropriate the rest of the sum in that period. In the meantime, the checks that have been cut in before the end of the year, because it's a huge task, those will be distributed to people.
He added that the next phase of the distribution will begin in early 2025, aiming to reach the remaining adult population of the country.